Hi everyone and welcome to Syllabus classes. This is Ashmita and in today's class we're going to solve the UPSC IAS 2022 paper. And if you all have been following our video series, you might have understood what kind of questions we are going to solve today. That is, it's entirely based on MCQs that you all must have if some of you might have given this examination this year, you will understand this is the 2022 paper 1, that's for the general studies paper. We're going to solve only a handful of questions in each of the videos. So if you have been following, you will understand that. So you know how to answer multiple choice questions. You would be given certain choices. You need to understand which choice is the best option, the suitable one, and then you need to choose that. Simple as that, right? So here we are going to learn about why did I choose that option as the correct one, why did I just omit the other options, and of course about the explanations regarding those. Let's start with our first question for today's class, that is 36. Remember, we are doing UPSC IAS paper 1, that's the general studies paper, and I'm solving question number 36. Number 1 says closed circuit television, number 2 says radio frequency identification, and number 3 says wireless local area network. Now, the question comes over here, which of the above are considered as short range devices or technologies? Now, over here, all these three can be considered under communication technologies. So we can consider option number D to be the correct one. So your correct answer is 1, 2, and 3, all of them. All right. Let's move over to the next question. Okay, but before moving over to the next question, let me tell you something about why did I chose these three technologies to be considered under communication technologies. Let me tell you something about short-range devices. What are these? The short-range devices are the radio devices that offer a low risk of interference with the other radio sources, and which is usually because their transmitted power and hence their range is low. So the definition of the short range device may be applied to many other different types of wireless equipment, including like various forms of access control is there, alarms and movement detectors are there, then closed circuit television like the CCTVs are there, then cordless audio devices are there. Like cordless audio devices include wireless microphones also. You will also get this industrial control. Then you have the local area networks, then medical implants, then metering devices are there, then remote control devices are there, then radio frequency identification devices are there, then road transport telematics are there. Telemetry is there. So what we learn from here is that short-range devices often benefit from a relaxed regulatory regime, which is compared to the other radio communication equipments. So as a general principle, a user is license free to operate such kind of equipments. Some specific cases may require an individual license. Let's discuss the next question. It says, consider the following statements. Biofilms can form on medical implants within human tissues. Second one is saying biofilms can form on food and food processing surfaces. Third one is saying biofilms can exhibit antibiotic resistance. All right. So over here, which statements should we consider? Your correct answer would be all of them, all right? So your answer would be number D. That is, number D is considering all of them, 1, 2, and 3. Now, what is biofilm first of all? A biofilm is an association of microorganisms in which the microbial cells adhere to each other on living or non-living surfaces within a self-produced matrix of extracellular polymeric substance. Biofilm formation is a multi-step process starting with attachment to a surface, then formation of microcolony that leads to the formation of three-dimensional structures. And the process finally ending with a maturation, which is followed by detachment. Like during biofilm formation, what happens is that many species of bacteria are able to communicate with one another through a specific mechanism which is called the quorum sensing. Now, this is a system of stimulus to coordinate the different gene expressions. Bacterial biofilm is a less accessible Bacterial biofilm is less accessible to antibiotics and the human immune system, and thus possess a big threat to the public health because of its involvement in a variety of infectious diseases. So this is why we can consider option number 3 to be correct. Okay, so option number 3 is a correct one. I told you I would be explaining why did I choose all these three options to be correct. So option number 3 is therefore correct because it poses a great threat to the health of individuals. Now, biofilms may form on living or non-living surfaces, and it can be prevalent in natural, industrial, and hospital settings also. Then biofilms can be present on the teeth of most animals as dental plaque also, where they may cause tooth decay and gum diseases. So from here we can conclude that number 1 statement is also correct because it can form on any medical implants within human tissues or animal tissues anywhere. All right. Um, Now, a combination of several pathogens can synergistically interact to form biofilms in the food industry. So, in food processing environments, bacteria are able to exist as multi-species biofilms, all right, from where both the spoilage and pathogenic bacteria can contaminate the food. For instance, in the fishing industry, in the fishing industry, fresh fish products can suffer from biofilm formation by mixed pathogenic species, then which can imply significant health and economic issues. Then synergistic interactions have been observed in a fresh cut produce processing plant where E. coli there are synergistic interactions also that have been observed in a fresh cut produce processing plant. That is why we can consider statement number 2 to be also correct. So all the three statements are hence can be considered as correct ones. Now let us move over to the next question. Moving over to the next question, it says, consider the following statements in respect of probiotics. Number 1 says probiotics are made of both bacteria and yeast. Number 2 says the organisms in probiotics are found in foods we ingest, but they do not naturally occur in our gut. Number 3 statement says probiotics help in the digestion of milk sugars. So, which statements are we going to consider over here? Let me tell you that your correct option would be number 1 and number 3. So, we are going to consider number C as your correct option. Now we have got and discussed about the correct option. Now we are going to know, and rather I would be discussing about what are probiotics and what is its benefit, what does it help in. In a nutshell, I would be providing you all the details. Now, what are probiotics? This word probiotics are foods that are made up of good live bacteria or yeasts that naturally stay in the human body. And human body is like a host to all the good and the bad bacteria. Whenever one gets an infection, there is more bacteria that is bad. Certain probiotic supplements add good bacteria to the human body. These are a combination of beneficial bacteria and yeasts that naturally stay in the human body. Bacteria is not always a negative addition to your body. It is positive too. So probiotics are a part of a larger picture concerning the bacteria and your body, which is like called your microbiome. And these microbes are a combination of bacteria, fungi, then now the fungi includes yeasts also, then viruses, protozoa. So we can say that statement number one is correct. All right. Okay, now talking about the benefits of probiotics. Why should we need probiotics in our body? I'll be telling you why and what are the benefits of it. It definitely helps the digestive system of the body. Then it keeps the bad bacteria from getting out of control and making one ill. It also creates vitamins in the body. It also helps to support the cells that would line your gut to prevent the bad bacteria that you may have consumed from like entering your blood. It will help in the breakdown and absorption of medications. So you see, apart from statement number two, statement number three is also correct. So statement number two is wrong and statement number three is correct. So you have got the correct answer. Now let's move over to the next question. Let's read the next question. In the context of vaccines manufactured to prevent the COVID-19 pandemic, consider the following statements. Number one says that the Serum Institute of India produced COVID-19 vaccine named Covishield using mRNA platform. Number two says Sputnik V vaccine is manufactured using vector-based platform, and Covaxin is an inactivated pathogen-based vaccine. All right. Now we need to consider which of these statements are correct. Like in with reference to context to COVID-19 pandemic, we need to consider which statements are correct. Now over here, number two and number three are the correct statements. All right. So you see in these options below, number B would be the correct answer. All right. So why did I choose Sputnik V vaccine and Covaxin when we are related to when we are just talking about the reference to COVID-19 pandemic? Let's talk about the Covishield vaccine. Now, Covishield vaccine is based on the platform which uses a recombinant replication deficient chimpanzee adenovirus vector, which encoding the SARS-CoV-2 spike glycoprotein. Okay. Now, following the administration, the genetic material of part of the coronavirus is expressed, which stimulates an immune response. Hence, the statement is incorrect. So I would be considering number one as incorrect. I've already told you it's incorrect. Now, you see, now talking about Sputnik 5, Sputnik V rather, it's the world's first registered vaccine, which is based on a well-studied human adenovirus vector platform. So this vaccine has been approved for use in 71 countries with a total population of 4 billion people. So this vaccine is named after the first Soviet space satellite. That's the launch of Sputnik 1, that's Sputnik I, not 1. That is the launch of Sputnik I in 1957 reinvigorated space research around the world, creating a so-called Sputnik moment for the global community. So the vaccine's efficiency, or you can say efficacy, is 97.6%, which is based on the analysis of data on the incidence of coronavirus among the Russians who were vaccinated with both the vaccine components between December 5th, 2020 and March 31st, 2021. So therefore, we can say that statement number two is correct. Talking about the Covaxin one, Covaxin is basically an inactivated viral vaccine. Now, this vaccine is developed with a whole virion inactivated cell derived technology. and they contain the inactivated viruses which cannot infect a person but still can teach the immune system to prepare a defense mechanism against the active virus. So therefore we can consider that statement number 3 is correct. Let's read the next question. That is the last question for today's class. It's quite big, so you need to just have patience and focus on it. If a major solar storm, that is solar flare, reaches the Earth, which of the following are the possible effects on the Earth? Number 1 says GPS and navigation systems could fail. Second one is saying tsunamis could occur at equatorial regions. Number 3 says power grids could be damaged. Number 4 says intense auroras could occur over much of the Earth. Number 5 says forest fires could take place over much of the planet. Number 6 says orbits of the satellites could be disturbed. Number 7 says shortwave radio communication of the aircraft flying over the polar regions could be interrupted. Correct answers would be 1, yes, GPS and navigation systems would fail, then power grids would be damaged, then next it would be intense auroras could occur over much of the Earth. Then orbits of the satellites could be disturbed. Short-wave radio communication of the aircraft flying over the polar regions could be interrupted. So you see number 1 is correct, number 3 is correct, and number 4, number 6, and number 7. Let's check the options, then we can just consider which option will go the best. So we can see those options that we have considered in number C. Alright, so I'm marking number C only. So that's it for today's class. We have discussed 5 long questions, like long questions, not long questions. It's just multiple choice questions where the explanations were a bit longer. So thank you for being with the class and understanding the class. So if you want to join our classes, have live sessions, recorded lectures, portal access, which is available to all the enrolled candidates 24/7. You can just go over to the description box just below this video. We'll get our contact details about everything about our classes. You will get there. You will get to know there. The official website is www.saurabhsclasses.com. That's the official website link that will get you to the official website of Saurabh's classes. You will also get the phone number which is provided in the description box itself. So go over there, and if you want to prepare for any kind of entrance exam or any kind of competitive examination, then you can definitely join our classes to get all the benefits of live lectures, recorded lectures, solutions to the previous year's question papers, unsolved paper solutions, doubt clearing sessions, mock test facilities, scholarship facilities. So that's it for today's class. If you want to join our classes, do that. Yeah, we are going to like we're going to solve all your queries, and if you have any kind of doubts, you can just comment down below in the comment box, and we are going to solve all your queries. That's it for today's class. We're going to meet once again in our next classes.